Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality. All right, welcome back to Bayou Time. Joining us once again is the council chair, Mr. John Amedee. John, good to see you again.
Martin, good to be back on. It's been a little bit. We've been kind of busy doing the things that we do in life, and finally we'll come see you and talk about some of the things the council's doing.
I'll see you sometimes with other hosts, and just the luck of the draw sometimes who you get, you know. But anyway, I know your plate's been busy. A few things popping in the community. I know there's a dedication for the Hollywood Extension Bridge, and that's this week.
Yes, that's happening on Thursday morning. They're going to be doing the ribbon cutting, and it's a beautiful bridge. I mean, it's very similar to the one on Polk Street, and of course, it's been named. The council named it after the officer who, just after Ida hit, was tragically killed in an accident on Percy Brown Road, where he hit a tree and his unit flipped into the bayou. Which was terrible, and we thought it fitting. Chief Terrio contacted one of my fellow colleagues and asked if we could put that together, and of course we were excited to be able to do that. At our last meeting, the family came, and I tell you, I think it brought tears to everybody's eyes hearing the story of this young man and, you know, finally getting to where he wanted to be, and then this happens and, you know, takes his life at an early age. So the department and the community really has a loss.
And that'll be when? Thursday that they do the dedication?
Thursday, I think it's at 10 a.m.
10 a.m.? Okay.
I think so.
Okay. And so we'll be out there with our cameras too. Any updates on the Buquet Street bridge? That's been getting so much attention, you know? You
know, Martin, I've asked administration to come on this Wednesday night at our council meeting and give updates on several projects, that being one of the first. And really what we're looking for with the Buquet Bridge, that's a bridge down on Falgout Canal in Dulac. It was hit, some boats had broke loose on the storm, and they ran into the bridge and damaged the bridge. And, you know, it's FEMA, so it's taken forever. So we just want an update on, we know it's in design, so we want to know where we're at with design. And then when we can expect that it goes out for bid, and then when we can expect for it to have a completion date. You know, we give the state a hard time on the bridge at Company Canal, but, you know, we're still fighting with the bridge down at Buquet. And so we don't have that information yet, but we're looking forward to it, as well as the power plant. You know, it's been damaged. We have some preliminary information on how they want to design it. I think it's going to be an excellent design, because it's not just going to be a couple huge turbines. It's going to be a series of smaller size turbines. So, you know, if you lose one, you don't lose, you know, 20 megawatts of power. You know, you lose 1 megawatt of power or something, maybe 3 megawatts of power. So you can still sustain.
It's not all or nothing, in other words.
Right. Yeah. It's not all or nothing. And, you know, we were also, that's a deal with FEMA as well, that we've been waiting for FEMA to respond, because we're asking, looking at the future needs of Terrebonne Parish and the city of Houma, we were asking to see how much they would be willing to give us to enlarge the size of the plant. I think we're 80 megawatts, and they were looking to go to 120 megawatts, something like that. And with technology today and the usage with EVs coming out, you know, increasing the size of the plant, it's forward thinking. And I think that was a good move by Gordy and his administration, and Jason and his has kept it up, continued on with it. So it'll be interesting to see what they say about that.
You know, we hear a lot of chatter, you know, I don't deal in chatter too much, but there are certain things that come with electricity, like I know there's fuel extra fuel that has to be brought in to make it work at this point. Is that passed on to the consumer, or how's that handled?
Everything is passed on to consumer, just like any other business. And those are fuel adjustment costs. So every month, the parish is looking at what the fuel costs are going to be. You know, there's markets just like the stock market. So they're watching what's happening, and then they're adjusting the cost to the consumer based on that. So sometimes you'll see that cost go up when natural gas prices rise, and then when they go down, you'll see it go down. Unfortunately for everybody, not just the citizens that use the Houma utilities, but those on Sleeka and Entergy as well are affected by the same things. Terrebonne has been fortunate because the city utilities has been some of the lowest rates in the state, if not the lowest. But we do our best to try and keep it there. And those are the things that we have to watch real tight to make sure we don't over-collect or under-collect.
Is that
to
one of
keep
the
it
things you
viable.
get a lot of calls as a council person?
A lot of people do. They want to know what's going on. Now, for me personally, none of my district is covered by the Houma utilities. So that's going to be some of the other members. But people, you know, one, because I'm chair this year, and then also just because they want to know, maybe they know me and they know I'm going to give them a straight up answer. I'll get those calls and try to explain it to them. It's really formulas that are used. It gets kind of convoluted when you're looking at it. But in the end, it's really, you know, whether people want to believe us when we say it, it's really looking out for the end user.
Yeah, I
Because
sort of chuckle because everybody is an expert. I hear people talking about power and different things and levies all the time, and I'm going, oh, that's not the way I understand it, you know. But everybody gets their own story and they run with it.
And you know, some people have some experience, so they're trying to use that experience to base it on others. And like, you know, it's not always the same circumstance.
fluid.
It is fluid, so it's always moving. So
Especially after an Ida.
yeah.
It's very fluid, you know.
Yeah.
Let's do this. Let's take a break, come back, and I'm going to ask you about Patriot subdivision. There seems to be some, I guess, attorneys that are going to be looking into some things, and I want to get your opinion on that. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Weights and Downer. You or someone you know has lost the ability to earn a living because someone put the company interests before their well-being. In times like these, there's one firm who has handled hundreds of catastrophic and lost earning cases. Before you settle fast with a company's attorney, give Weights and Downer a call. 985-876-0870. Weights and Downer. Let us fight for your rights.
All right, we are back, and we are talking with the council chair of Terrebonne Parish, Mr. John Amedee. We appreciate him coming on, always transparent with us. You know, one of the things that's been, I guess, captivating a lot of people, and you hear it in the coffee shops or talking, especially recently, it resurfaced again, was the Patriot subdivision. There was obviously some work done by a contractor in the area. There was a council person involved, and somehow, some other, between administration and the contractor or the council person, things got misconstrued or construed a different way, or not quite sure the protocol would happen. But nonetheless, it's resulted in attorneys being asked to come down. Can you give us a little information about that? And what are they looking at?
Yeah. So Martin, anytime we at the parish government have a situation where we have to take a look at something that we're doing, we want to make sure that there's no biases happening, there's no favoritism happening. So we hire an outside law firm to come in. They're going to look at the situation, they're going to talk to all the people involved, and they're going to give us a recommendation on how to proceed forward. Now, this particular one with the issue at hand is not a council investigation, it's an administration investigation. Because as a government, we're not allowed to go onto private property and do any work unless we've created the problem. And this had to do with a curb repair, and a gentleman wanted his driveway repaired right near the street. And so what they're looking at is to see if that falls under that same situation, that it would have been classified as private property and not eligible for us to repair it. So I don't know all the details on it. We'll let the investigators do their thing, and they'll come back to administration and give them a recommendation. Just so happens it falls in this particular councilman's district, so he gets reviewed. The department head that's in charge of that type of work gets reviewed, and then the contractor that actually did the work gets reviewed. And from all of that, they'll be able to determine if there was any mistake happening, misappropriation, or whatever it might be. Because they'll look at state law
Okay.
to justify the question of whether or not something was done on private property. But they're also going to look at the parish protocols and the policies that the parish has on dealing with these things. This particular instance was from when the previous council member was on, and this new guy came in after him. And so this has been going on, that this gentleman had been requesting this. So they're going to look at all of that back up to that time and determine exactly, what took place, what's been documented, what's been instructed, what hasn't been, if anything's been paid on it, all those sorts of things. And in the end, they'll be able to give administration an explanation of what they've determined took place, and then they'll give them several recommendations on how to proceed.
We don't know all the meetings that take place, or the emails that take place, or the intent. Intent's a big word too. So I always tell people it's best for us to wait for the investigation to be completed, then we report.
Even for us, we don't know the intent either. It was all derived from a Facebook post where the gentleman posted that after many years of fighting with Terrebonne Parish government to get his driveway fixed, it was now fixed. So administration said, wait, what? So in order to make sure that administration didn't do anything wrong, or those involved didn't do anything wrong, they said, let's get this investigated. It's a good process. I don't know that anything much will come out of it. We'll see what the attorney has to say. But I appreciate the fact that, the administration wanted to make sure no laws are broken. But in the end, they're going to come forth and they're going to say, what this determined and how they're moving forward.
Yeah, and in fairness, really, to everybody, we're going to wait to see the investigation. Well, it'll be made public, I'm sure, huh?
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
I'm sure we
because it's public now, so I'm sure they're going to want to respond publicly and give
now
a report.
With the new laws from the state, sometimes, we can make requests. Maybe we get it, maybe we don't.
You have a right to request by, public records request, and they'll give you what they have.
No, and that's no knock on administration. That's just the new procedures that everybody's getting used to statewide,
Yes, our new governor has sure ripped and roared in his first 6 months.
Times have changed, but anyway, hopefully we can get that, and it'll be a good report, and we can talk factually about what took place. But other than that, good to see you again, and
same here.
Guess we'll be seeing you a lot of groundbreakings coming up.
Yes, sir. We'll all go out there and sweat a little bit.
And everybody can smile a little bit. All right. Good to see you, John. All right. We'll keep you posted on all these events as they take place, and we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
Bay down to Point Ocean, Thibodeau to Grand Caillou, HTV's part of you. Bayou Black down through Dulac, Southland Mall to City Hall, we'll bring the news to you. Raceland, St. Charles, Bayou Blue, Morgan City and Assumption too. where sugar cane is grown. So much to see on HTV. Stick with us 'cause we're your home.